If I was starting out my spiritual business again for the first time, and I've been doing this for about 6 years now, then these are the core 3 things that I would tell you to do if you're coming into the online space and you're building your spiritual business. Even if you're not doing it online, these are core foundations that you need to have in place that nobody told me when I first started, that I wished I had known. And now that I've got them under my belt, it will be so much more easier to get started and make money online from whichever platform, wherever in the world, whenever I choose to, because I've got them. And so I want to share with you in this video how to do that. So if you're thinking about becoming an intuitive creator, if you're thinking about bringing yourself and your wisdom and your passions and your gifts online, then this is going to be super beneficial for you. So let's get right into number 1. The first thing that I would tell you, and I would tell myself, is get ready for a journey. Okay. So many people pack up their stuff on like, oh, I'm thinking about becoming an online creator. Maybe they don't know where to start and blah, blah, blah. And they're looking at it from the lens, they're putting on these glasses of like an end destination, of like a goal, right? Usually, majority of the time, not everyone, some people are literally like, yeah, I want to help people, I want to teach. And they start off with a passion, but along the journey, like I work with so many different types of people. There are different phases of this where some people, you can come into this with like such good intentions. Like I started Instagram 6 years ago teaching astrology, and I was like, I just want to teach astrology. And from there, it became entrepreneurship because I started making money online. That was not my initial intention, but I have people who come to me going, I want to become a creator so I can make money online. So whatever your intention, that is fine. But this is the key part that I want you to get into your brain before you start, is that it is a journey, not an end goal, not an end destination. And I'm telling you this why, because when I first started, it was like, ooh, it would be so fun to just teach astrology online, right? I didn't know that by me doing that and setting that intention of just, I'm going to teach online, that would become a journey. And so if someone had told me this is going to be a long journey, you're going to make money online, you're going to do all these things, and it's not about making how much money, like a lot of the coaches in the online space, a lot of normal business gurus, and even spiritual business teachers, if there are that many out there, will tell you to set a money goal, to set a goal. And it's like goals actually come and hinder you, especially when it comes to intuitive practices, because intuition, like you know already, does not have goals with it. It's just a drop, a download, something that comes when it's ready to flow to you. It's not something that you can just be like, hey, intuition, come tell me what I need to do next. Like, yeah, we can set the intention, but the waiting game, that in between of like, oh, the download hasn't come through yet, that's not you forcing it with your mind. It's intuition, and intuition, you got to wait for. There's nothing around it. And so patience is the key. To be on a journey, you have to build patience, especially if you know it's going to be a long one. It might not be a long one, but I want you to cultivate the mindset of it could potentially be a long one. You don't know that. And that's not our job to know, right? Our job from the beginning is pack your bags. You're going on an entrepreneurial journey. You don't know how long it's going to be and what it's going to bring, but you are ready for the journey. No matter what, you're not turning back. Like, that's the mindset I would love you to enter from, because you're going to be unstoppable and you're going to be successful as fuck if you get that into your brain, right? Majority of people come on with the, oh, I don't know if I can do it, or like, I don't know how long this is going to take, and like quick, rich schemes, and like, how can I make money fast? And then they invest into like courses and coaches and pour all of that into outside of themselves. And then they like get lost in that sea of noise and overwhelm, and then they drown, and then they feel depressed, and then they feel like anxiety, and then they're just like, it's not happening. And all of the mind drama starts up here, and then it actually takes you further away from your spiritual practices as well. So then you're like in a lose-lose situation where you're like, your mindset fucked up in the business space, but then your spirituality and your practices there have also gone to poop. So it's like, you're not winning over there. Come win on this side of it, where you're like, this is a journey. When I travel from, say, Surrey to like Manchester, it takes me about 5 hours in the car. Like, that's a fucking long journey for me. So I'll be like prepping myself. It's like, okay, it's going to be long. I'm going to prep. Like, this is what I need to take in my mindset toolkit of like, okay, couple of hours, it's fine. I'm going to listen to like, just chat with my partner or whatever. After 2 hours, I'm going to start to feel a bit antsy up here. So I'm going to start listening to some podcasts. I'm going to start listening to some good stuff that makes the time go faster. Then I'm going to get a bit hungry. So we're going to pack some snacks, all this stuff, right? The same thing for your online spiritual business journey. Like, this is a game. It's a journey where it gets to be fun only if you allow it to be fun, or it's going to be really bloody hard, miserable, and challenging. It depends on your mindset and how you're viewing the thing. So again, if you're thinking of this, like, again, I'm going to give you another example because I love examples. It makes you come on board with what I'm trying to tell you about the journey. Gym. When you have a fitness gym goal, You set the intention of, I want to lose such and such weight. And that's fine. Again, even like I said, if you want to come online to make money, that is fine. But you are setting yourself a long ass journey that you don't know how long it's going to take, but you're going to keep showing up anyway until you reach that destination. So it's the same thing like with your gym goals. You have a set weight that you want to lose, or set body physique that you want to achieve. And it's like, you don't know how long your body is going to take to react to the nutrition, the diet, the exercises, whatever the thing that you're doing with it. You don't know that part. But what you do know is that you're going to show up consistently. You're going to be disciplined enough. You're going to have the mindset that will keep going even when it feels hard. You're going to push yourself through those hard fucking workouts because you want that goal and you're on that journey there, right? You don't waver from that journey. That's the same thing with your spiritual online business journey. Is you don't waver. You set that intention with full conviction in your body that you are getting to be this amazing business person online. You're going to make money, whatever the thing is. You can set a goal as well of like, I want this much money. The one thing that you don't set is a timeline on it, because you don't know that. And that's one of the laws of the universe that doesn't get spoken about enough of, right? One of the laws of the universe is the law of divine timing. Every one of us has our own separate, unique timeline. Sometimes, and this is the thing that spiritual people do, and I see it all the time, and I've done it myself, is we set the timeline thing as an excuse to not do something. That's not what I'm telling you to do here at all. I'm telling you that yes, divine timing is a thing, but you still have to do your job. Your job as a spiritual entrepreneur is to show up. Number one, if you don't show up, your business is non-existent. So the key thing is, number one, the mindset of this is a journey. And this is bringing me on to this point number two of you have to be visible. You have to be visible and stay consistent in being visible. If you continually show up, and every single one of us has it in us to show up in some capacity, right? Because you might find yourself, me as well, I did this, as a projector in human design. I listened to all that stuff about like astrology and human design can be amazing tools, amazing freaking tools to show us our strengths and weaknesses. But our mind is so good at using every piece of information that it can find in its toolbox to keep us safe and to keep us small, that it will make even human design an excuse. So as an example of this, put my hand up of like calling myself out here of what I was doing, and hopefully this will save you from doing it. If you're also a projector, if you're also whatever human design type you are, and you're like, oh, I don't have a sacral center, which means I don't have constant access to my energy, which means I don't have constant energy to put out content. Instead of, actually, I have two defined centers, which means I have constant access to my throat and my identity, which means I can constantly speak all day long without losing that energy. And even if I do lose it, I can literally have a nap and gain it back and just keep talking. I can talk all day. So that is literally what I'm here to do. Like, part of my purpose is it lies in speaking, and it comes from speaking my truth and channeling. So there is literally no excuse around it, but I was making excuses for it because I was like, oh, I don't have a sacral. Oh, I don't have enough energy. And it's just like, I then assessed myself and I was like, I have energy all day long to do like jobs in the past. So what's changed? Nothing. Like, the only difference is I used to do jobs that I hated and I was not passionate about. So that was sucking the life force out of me, and I was doing jobs. I wasn't just being in my beingness. That's a key difference. And I'll do a whole other video on it. But drop me a comment below if you know your human design, or if you're going through this and you're just like feeling the thing. And also, if you do keep jobbing and you're like hating the jobs that you're doing and you're not feeling lit up and you feel burnt out, then this is your sign as well that you're meant to be online. You're meant to do the things that light you up and get paid for it. And this is why you get to be you and get paid for it. But you have to be on board with looking at it like it's a journey, not an end destination, and focusing on the journey and the process and having fun with it instead of focusing so heavily in the future and on the goal and you not having it, because your subconscious mind literally picks up on everything that you are feeding it. So if you're constantly feeding it, you haven't got it, you're going to be coming from the wrong energy, and we don't want that. So the whole point of you fixating and enjoying the process of the journey is so that your subconscious mind can start to filter and be like, ooh, this person's enjoying this journey. They're enjoying these challenges. Maybe I'll give them more. Maybe I'll give them more opportunities. Maybe I'll give them more so that they get more and more. That's how you build, right? And it is a process. So the second thing, like I said, is literally making it your mission of this is the mindset that you want to be taking on board. And the third thing is discipline. And this doesn't get talked about enough. I feel like as spiritual beings, we're just like, we're just going to flow and we're just going to this. And it's just like, we're yin and yang. We are masculine and feminine. The masculine is the discipline. It's the structure. It's the commitment. It's the doing part that we are all here to do. But it doesn't have to be as excessive as the society that we've currently lived in makes out to be, right? We don't have to work 8-hour shifts, 24-hour shifts, like to earn pennies. We can do 2 hours of work in a day and earn 50,000 if we want to, 100,000 in a day if we want to. That's our choice, but we have to do the work of discipline to get ourselves to that space. And that's why going back to point number 1, it's a journey. It takes time. These are not things that can come overnight. Sometimes it does happen overnight, but again, it's the people who are doing the mindset work and staying disciplined and constantly showing up and providing value, both to themselves and to humanity, okay, to their audiences in whichever way that they're choosing to do. So, discipline is something that has to be trained, just like anything. Again, I keep using gym stuff because, again, for me, I've realized this recently where I'm like, oh my God, I'm not disciplined in showing up online all the time. Like I'll have months of showing up regularly and then I'll just disappear. So I'm telling you now, I'm not doing that. I'm being more disciplined with myself now of like showing up regularly. And it's not in the state of burnout as well. This is the key thing, because when you are showing up consistently, you can get easily carried away. Like if you have the energy inside of you to batch content, do it. If you have enough energy inside of you to just do one video a day and it doesn't take much time, it's like 10-15 minutes, it's like bang out your thing, 15 minutes, done, upload. You can go about the rest of the day. You have like 12 hours in like your entire day, or 24 hours, depending on how you're looking at it. And with all those hours in the day, you can't take out just 15 minutes to film, press record. That's not going to drain your energy like scrolling or watching nonsense on Netflix. Like you spend hours on that stuff. So really to be disciplined of what is your priority and how much do you want that goal? Like how much do you want the thing that you're going after when it comes to your spiritual business? Because that needs to be top priority. Like there is no excuses around that. You can listen to so many other people, but at the end of the day, you will come back to the same point of you need to be disciplined. The people that you watch online, the people that you love the most, they are being disciplined in showing up for you. They are being disciplined in showing up for themselves. They come up on your feed time and time again. Why? Not because they decided to do Netflix, but because they decided to spend an hour of their time filming for you. That takes discipline. So if I want you to take away any 3 things that you need to be getting on board with your spiritual business journey, your online content creation, these are the 3 things. And if you do these 3 things and you shift the way that you're viewing everything in your business and coming online from this space, you will be successful. There is no doubt about it. It's inevitable. It's almost like the universe. Literally, there's one of the laws of the universe, which I absolutely love and is my favorite. It's pinned at the top of my TikTok as well. The law of compensation. You are rewarded in equal measure, if not greater, to what you put out, to what you are giving. So if you're just consuming, and you're not creating, why would you be paid? Like, why would you? There's no law in the universe that states that. Just like you follow blindly the law of attraction, the law of vibration, you know that you have to do the inner work of vibration and attraction. Then you manifest your soulmate. This is literally how I manifested my soulmate, of raising my vibration, raising my standards, raising my boundaries. It's the same thing for business. If you want to receive money, if you want to be compensated, then you also have to deliver value. That's why most people do it through jobs. They go to a job, they give their energy, and then they get paid, right? But in doing that, it's kind of like you dampen your spirit because you're not able to give in your way. You have other people's rules, you have other people's restrictions. And so people who come into my world usually want to be free. They want to build and they want to be compensated for their creativity. And in order to do that, there's a couple of things you've got to get with your own self of, okay, how can I pour out more value? How can I pour out my creativity into the world? There's no hiding around that. You have to get courageous, bold, and confident and comfortable with that shit. And yes, spiritual entrepreneurship, the last thing I want to leave you on is it can be uncomfortable. Get comfortable with the uncomfortable. If you're not willing to face the challenges, if you're not willing to be uncomfortable, it's going to take you longer on the journey, because growth happens in the discomfort. And I always give this example of a baby in my programs. When we were little, every single baby crawls first before it walks, right? Most of us. I know there are some that just skip that step and they just go straight to walking. They're like super babies, superhumans. And we get that even in the entrepreneurial world. Some of us will literally go and make money like instantly because we have less stuff to do the work on, right? It all depends on our environment and what we grew up with and all the trauma and how much healing we have to do and how our belief system works and mindset and all that stuff. That's not the thing. It's like, look at your own lane, focus on your own lane. do the work, right? You will still eventually get up. So those babies who crawl, they cry, the first time they sit down and they're like, ugh, do they just stay sitting there and crying, or do they get back up and try walking again? You will literally see them not even minutes later and they will be trying to walk again. They'll still fall down, they'll bump their head, they'll still try again until they fucking get there, until they start walking. They do not give up. But as adults, we have one bad breakup and we're like, I'm not getting burnt again. I'm not going into that relationship. We have one bad client and we're like, I'm not doing coaching again, because they said this about me. We have one bad hate comment and we're like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be posting that type of content. And it's like, no, why are you giving so much power and meaning to things outside of yourself when as a baby, you didn't do that? As a baby, you had no concept of that. You didn't judge yourself. You didn't allow judgments to bother you because you knew nothing about it. And even if you did growing up, you just brush it off and you continue life because you're here to play. So bring yourself back to that baby version of you who's like crawling, falling down, and knowing that growth hurts, growth is challenging sometimes, but you're going to do it anyway because you want to get to that walking stage because you know there's so much more independence on that side. Same thing for spiritual business. It hurts in the growth period. It's harder in the building period, but you know that on the other side of that, there is so much more fucking freedom than the current job and shit show that you're sitting in that you are absolutely exhausted with and hating. And so you're going to do the thing that's required because the other side is going to be so much more worth it. Subscribe if you liked this video, like it, and drop me a comment if you want to see anything else. And if you've got any questions, I always reply. And I'll see you in the next video. Mwah.